welcome to the NOVEL MSCA Postdoctoral Programme, our webinar for applicants for our second call, which is about to open on Monday, actually, on the 1st of December. My name is Piritta Parkkari. I'm the Impact Manager of the NOVEL Programme, and basically my responsibilities include all communication related to the programme, training, career support, amongst other things. So I'm basically there to help all the postdocs who will be selected for the program. And then we also have three other people. Tarja Malm is the coordinator. Would you like to say a few words about yourself, Tarja? Your mic is turned up.
Yeah, sure. So, hi everybody. My name is Tarja Malm. I'm a professor in neurobiology at the Virtanen Institute, University of Eastern Finland, and I'm leading the neuroinflammation research group, and I'm the coordinator of this program.
And then we have the co-coordinator, Päivi Eriksson. Would you also like to present yourself?
Hello everyone, my name is Päivi Eriksson. I'm professor of management and work at the UEF Business School. And in this program, the Innovation in Society theme area is where I'm working.
Thank you. And then we have Paula Inkeroinen, who's the program manager.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm the program manager of this program, and I take care of the administrative processes, and I'm in charge of this selection process of the program.
So if you do apply for the program, you will basically receive a lot of emails from Paula in different stages of the selection process. So now you have a face for those emails. But it's so lovely to have you all here, and hello to all of those who are watching this as a recording too. In this short webinar, we are gonna shortly introduce the program and the research opportunities we offer. We're also going to go through the application process and give you some tips for some of the documents to fill for the application. And then at the end, we're going to have a Q&A. And as I already mentioned, if you have any questions popping into your mind while you're listening to us, please write them in the chat so I know to take them at the end. And a couple of words in the beginning about this program in general. I mean, NOVEL is a Marie Sklodowska-Curie Actions Program, MSCA program for short, which is the European Union's flagship funding program for doctoral education and postdoctoral training. And MSCA has two different kinds of postdoctoral fellowships. You have the individual ones and the programs. NOVEL is a postdoctoral program, a MSCA co-fund program, which means that we will be recruiting into altogether 14 people. And we have lots of training and all sorts of interesting opportunities that you're going to be hearing in a moment. And all of these MSCA programs follow these same principles, such as excellence, mobility, effective supervision and career guidance, and so forth. And also we, as an MSCA program, follow these. Then I would like to ask Professor Tarja Malm to tell you a bit more about this program.
Yes, so NOVEL stands for a very long title. It's the Novel Brain Health Solutions across 4 focus areas: prevention and care, methods and data, innovation and society, and ethics and well-being. And it's a super long name, but it really, really well captures what we are all about. So yes, you can go to the next slide, please. So we are located here in Kuopio, in the middle of Finland, and altogether NOVEL recruits 14 fully paid postdoctoral positions. Each of the positions lasts for 3 years. There are altogether 23 supervisors that you can select from. And the also beneficiary of this program is a University of Eastern Finland. However, we have several partners, 9 partner universities, as well as 25 intersectoral partners taking part to this program. And NOVEL really tackles the key challenges in brain health. There needs to be early prediction of different brain diseases. We need to have personalized treatment paradigms for the brain diseases. And all of these requires advancement, different methods and technologies that are state of the art. And moreover, we need to do these innovations in a responsible and ethically suitable manner. So NOVEL altogether comprises expertise in neuroscience, data science, innovation management, health economics, and legal studies. And this is a question, why choose NOVEL? Why our program is worth considering? UEF is really one of the leading hubs for interdisciplinary brain health research in Finland. We do have class resources, excellent infrastructure to do state-of-the-art research. We do have strong collaborations, not only within the university, but also between the university and the university hospital, as well as several companies and other organizations within the area and in Finland. Yes, and moreover, we offer great research opportunities. So unlike many other postdoctoral positions that are there available, here you have a really research autonomy. You lead your own research project at the very early career stage. And these Marie Curie positions are really globally renowned and prestigious in their reputation. And of course, we support the interdisciplinary and intersectoral concepts in the program. We also have several other advantages in the program. So the salary is nice. It is full funded for 3 years of research. So you can fully focus on research and not applying for additional funding for yourself. It includes also travel allowance, so you can participate to conferences, secondments, and visits. It covers some of the research costs, innovation costs, and also, of course, the family allowance and mobility allowance. And we also provide special needs allowance and support if needed. And UEF staff offers a lot of support for the recruited individuals. And one of the important aspects in the NOVEL program are the secondments. So really, with the NOVEL, you can really get exposure to the intersectoral partners that are taking part in the program. So we do have a compulsory intersectoral sectoral secondment, and this is supposed to last any time between 2 and 6 months, and occurs with our partners that take into part the program. They can be companies, hospitals, or healthcare organizations, or patient advocacy organizations. And for the partners, you can click to our website and see what kind of partners we have taking part in our program. And these can be done locally, nationally, or globally. And they can also be on-site. They can be taken remotely or in a hybrid mode. So we are very flexible in this. And then there is a possibility for additional secondment, which can similarly last between 2 to 6 months. And then you can also take short visits where you can learn different types of skills that are needed for your research. And these are all the partner organizations. You can take a better look in our web pages. And you can go to the next slide. And we also provide a lot of support for the research and career development. So if you really want to put emphasis on your career development, we want to support also your postdoctoral career perspectives. So yes, you can.
Someone accidentally took over the presentation. Sorry, let me go back to the correct spot. Okay, now we are in the right spot. Sorry, Tarja, go ahead.
Perfect. So yes, so each of the researchers that are recruited for the program are assigned a supervisor, a co-supervisor, and a secondment supervisor, and a mentor. So really taken care of. We have a very tight, very active, very great research community. So you will be enrolled into the UEF Neuroscience Research Community, and you are supposed to create a personalized career development plan that is tailored to your needs and to your prior experience. And we also provide tailored training to further enhance your skills and career, and in variety of different sectors. And these are some of our customized training activities for you. So we have regular workshops, we have project management coaching, we have a social lab with stakeholders, summer school, and a variety of different really interesting, good training. And these are the key requirements during the program. So this is a full-time recruitment, so a full-time dedication. The work is done locally here in Kuopio, in Finland. And the intersectional secondment is compulsory in the partner organization. And you need to participate in the novel events and training and create and maintain the personal career development plan and also the data management plan. And we adhere to the open science policies. And you also communicate and disseminate your work to wider audiences. And of course, comply with UEF policies. But yes, so this is the important remark. We are located here in Kuopio. So we welcome you to very, very beautiful Kuopio. The campus is located around the lake, here seen in a figure. And Kuopio is a small city with approximately 120,000 inhabitants. Finland is the world's happiest country. We do have excellent work-life balance, safety, and great support for families.
Thank you, Tarja. Then I would like to ask both Tarja and Päivi you to continue more closely with the research opportunities we offer. So Tarja, I think you can first continue, and then Päivi will tell about her research areas more.
So the idea is that you decide and design your research idea. So it should be related to brain health and at least one of the novel's research areas that we will soon take a look into. The research should be interdisciplinary, either in the technological nature or then a scientific nature. It should include the intersectoral mobility. You should collaborate with stakeholders who assist you with generating increased impact for your research. And you also plan for innovation and or translational medicine approaches. And with the research, you have the ability to exploit the cutting edge infrastructure that we have here at the UEF. And of course, important is that you comply with the UEF policies, including, for example, research ethics and the local law. And these are the research areas. So we have altogether 10 positions open. 5 of the positions are in the research areas of prevention and care and methods and data here in the upper box. And 5 positions are then in the lower box, which is the innovation in society and ethics and well-being. And here you can see some of the key words that you can glance through what all these research areas are about. But I could tell you more in the next slide what the prevention and care methods and data research area is. So for this research area, we have 5 positions open. Research plans that you plan for this particular research area should be plans that explore how, for example, genetics or environmental factors contribute to brain diseases. It should include the use of large multi-omic datasets, imaging, and advanced data analytics tool. And the idea is to maybe cover disease mechanisms or disease risk, or to identify novel biomarkers. You can suggest to use or even develop novel human stem cell based technologies, or even use human brain tissue samples from the university hospital. And you can also bridge different kind of technologies. So you can design a project that maybe employs electrophysiology and single cell technologies and different omics approaches. So this is completely up to you. Or then you can have a project proposal that aims to discover novel biomarkers, utilizes novel omics analysis and deep phenotyping, and maybe even machine learning approaches to develop this kind of personalized diagnostic and prognostic tools.
So in these 2 other research areas, innovation in society and ethics and well-being, you can already see in the titles that we are not neuroscientists. So the supervisors in these areas work at the business school, law school, and health economics. And our topics, they are all need to be related to brain health in different ways. Brain health can be a context. For instance, if you would like to study startup companies, you would focus your research on startup companies that work with brain health issues, products, services, commercialization. So in that way, these research areas are a bit different and really in that way interdisciplinary, that you would have your substance area, business law or health economics, and then you would need to also have some interdisciplinary interest and focus on brain health. And our supervisors are also working in these areas so we can support this kind of research and of course then also collaborate with the neuroscientists in topics that benefit from that.
Then I invite you, Päivi, to go deeper into the actual application process.
Yes. So the second call will be open in a couple of days, and it will stay open for 3 months, so to the end of February. And as you will see when I go further, that the recruitment process takes several months because it will be done externally. So we will have the results, we estimate in August 26. And then the selected researchers would start working in August, between August, mid-November 26, depending on the, of course, the moving arrangements and visa processes and so on. So it's flexible, the starting time. And here you can see the whole recruitment process, which I will go through in more detail in the following slides. So when you consider applying, then we suggest that you first look at on our websites what are the eligibility criteria, because there are certain ones that are typical to these programs. And the important one is the mobility requirement, that the applicants have not been staying in Finland for more than 12 months during the past 3 years by the end of the call deadline. So you have been living and working elsewhere outside Finland. But of course, also Finnish researchers who are returning to Finland after a period abroad can apply. But in general, applicants can be of any nationality, so there are no restrictions on that. Of course, you need to have a PhD degree and then less than 7 years of research experience after your PhD. And one specific requirement is to obtain at least 1 letter of support from the hosting research group that you would like to work with. I will tell you more about that a bit later. So the first thing to do would really be to look at the research areas more closely, and then the available research groups that will be hosting postdocs. And you can find all of those on our web pages. And then when you identify a research group that you would like to work with, you can then contact one of the supervisors. And it's good to know notice here that, as Tarja said already, you will design your own research project. It's then you can discuss with the supervisor that there is a technical fit with the program in your proposed research idea. Also on the website, you will find links to videos made by supervisors, where you can see more closely what they are working on. So there are altogether, was it 23 supervisors that you can choose from? So when you have a research idea with a short description of that, maybe half a page or so, you can contact one of the research group leaders and then discuss with about the idea and see if it has a technical fit with this program. And the supervisor can also tell you if there is the needed infrastructure and perhaps data already existing in the research group that you are interested in. And then if the technical fit exists, so your idea is within the research areas of this program, then you can request a letter of support from the supervisor. And the exception, of course, is that if there is no technical fit, or if there are some technical fits, yeah. So a supervisor could refuse to give you the letter. But if everything is okay, you might also get support letters from several supervisors. And of course, it doesn't guarantee that you will be selected, but it's needed, and you need to attach this letter to your application. Can you take the next slide, please? So before submitting your application, there needs to be, you need to discuss with the supervisor the ethics issues concerning your research idea, and then also fill in the infrastructure form, just to make sure that our university and the research groups have all the equipment, resources, the data that you would need for your study. And many of the research groups already have ethics approvals for the kind of research they are doing. So you will get more information on that also. Next slide, please. Yes, and this is important. Please do not send full research proposals to the supervisors, and do not send your CVs, because the supervisors cannot be helping you with the research proposals, and they are not allowed to evaluate you in any way. That will be done externally on the basis of your applications. So just send a short research idea, and on the basis of that you will discuss the details with the supervisor concerning the technical and ethics issues, that they are, you can make sure that they are okay. Yes, and as said earlier, you will write your research proposal independently. And we have a template for that Piritta will show shortly. And as said already earlier, the proposal needs to contribute to at least one of the research areas in the program. Of course, it can be combining elements from 2 research areas also. And then in these programs, interdisciplinary, intersectoral proposals are supported. And there's a list of all the documents needed for the application. And it also shows that we have templates for most of the documents. So please use the templates given. But you can find very detailed information on these on the website, what is needed. Can you show the next? Yeah, here is the research proposal template. And you can see here that there is a specific amount of space for the different sections of the research proposal. And the research, in general, the research proposals are not very long, as you can see here. But very detailed instructions are given in the template. So please have a look at that early on when you start planning your research proposal. And of course, the very basic tips for writing a good research proposal apply. So try to make it easy for the reader to understand what you plan to do and why. And then also describe the implementation well. For instance, in my research area, innovation and society, it's sometimes in research proposals you write a lot of theory, but that's not the purpose here. It's very shortly the theoretical background, if you have any, and then implementation is important. And also considering that it needs to be realistic, what you can do in 3 years of time. So you need to consider if there is already existing data, if you need to collect some data, especially in the innovation in society and ethics and well-being research areas. But of course, we also have existing data that can be used, as in the other 2 research areas also. And please try to indicate the novelty of your proposal as clearly as possible. And if you lack experience, if you want to do something new in your postdoctoral research, write about how you plan to gain the experience and the knowledge needed for that, because we provide a lot of support for that. It's just that you need to say that this is something new for me and this is how I want to study and learn that. And then also there's also a section on impact, and that matters in these types of programs. So try to think what kind of impact your research will contribute. And then there are some very practical tips that because there is quite little space, you can use a very concise way of writing your references. And of course, there's also a template for CV, how you can write it for this proposal. And here is a list of all kinds of things that you can include into your CV.
And I would like to give a tip that there is a part called research gap period in the CV. This is a very important section, especially if you do have quite a lot of experience after gaining your PhD. As Päivi already mentioned, the limitation in these MSCA programs is that you can't have more than 7 years of research experience after your PhD. But of course, you can have other kinds of experience, such as industry experience, but please make sure you include your industry experience or parental leave or any other things that are not academic research in the research gap periods, because we are going to be using that section when calculating your total post-PhD experience and when calculating your eligibility. And if you have any questions about the eligibility in general, you can always contact us at novel@UEF, and we can check it with you beforehand, before the actual application, to see that you are eligible. Please go ahead, Päivi.
One more thing concerning this slide is there's a point that please do not use journal impact factors, age index, or any other rankings, because those are not allowed. It's not allowed to use those as a basis of evaluation in the evaluation process. So do not put those into your CV or in any other place. Okay, next slide. So we have an electronic application system where you will submit all of the application documents. And try to submit the application in advance, not during the last day. You can modify it still when it's submitted to the system. And then one, or actually two important things, that if you are late, we cannot consider your application. So if the deadline has already gone, we cannot take it in anymore. And then some of you might be able to submit several applications in principle concerning the topics, but please do not do so. Only one application. And if by accident you submit two, we can only acknowledge the first one. So just one application per call. And here you can see an overview of the selection process. And you can see that after eligibility and ethics check, there will be an external peer review. So we are not evaluating your applications. It will be external experts. And this phase is conducted by the European Science Foundation. And there will be 3 experts to evaluate each application. So you will be scored by 3 experts in the research area where you are applying to. And then after this external peer review, we have then a selection committee that will also review the applications, and selection committee will also have a consensus meeting if the scores from the previous phase are too different, very far from each other. So if it's uneven, the first evaluation, they will have a look at that again, and they can change the scores. And then the steering committee of the program will make the final decision who will be offered a position. And then thereafter, the appointment process starts. And as you can see here, it's there are appeal possibilities at almost in the first 3 phases. And then actually I can see here 5, no 4. So you can, if you think that evaluation was not fair, you can appeal. So write a, we have a template also for that. You can write about it. And we have an appeals committee that will review the appeals in every stage. So it's also supported and beneficial to appeal if you think that there was something that you was not right in some phase. And there's also a table in the material of the evaluation criteria that will be used by the external peer reviewers and the selection committee also. So if you study this, you can also see that what are the elements in your research proposal that will be evaluated. And there you can see that the points will be from 1 to 6, and that there are 5 sections that will be scored. Next slide, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
That was the last slide of the application process, and now we can move on to the questions and answers section. I will first go through some of the pre-sent questions. So while I'm doing that, if you have any questions in your mind, you can write them in the chat or just raise your hand, the virtual hand, so I know to take your questions. But many of you had questions about eligibility, the research proposal, research areas, and salary. I hope we covered those in the presentation. At least we tried to cover those questions there. So if any of these aspects that you had questions about are still unclear, just please write a question in the chat or raise your virtual hand. But there are a couple of the present questions that I would like us to address here. So the first one was, are there any opportunities for interdisciplinary collaboration across the different research groups or faculties within the program? Tarja, would you first like to answer this one?
Yes, so absolutely, there are a lot of opportunities. So just as a very practical example, we are collaborating a lot, and a lot of the basic research groups are collaborating with clinicians. So at the Kuopio University Hospital, we have active meetings, we share data, we get samples, and so this kind of collaboration between the basic researchers and the clinicians is very active. We also, within the neuroscience research community, we also collaborate with the other research groups under the other research areas, such as innovation and ethics, which are very important aspects in the entire brain research area.
Thank you. Päivi, would you like to also add something here?
Yes, we also have quite a lot of interdisciplinary research collaboration, and I could give you some examples. For instance, one of our doctoral students who is in the other similar program that we have for doctoral researchers in the business school, she is studying remote monitoring of patients at home, and from the perspective of patients and caregivers and healthcare professionals. And we work in this project with the university hospital also, that she has interviewed the patients, she has interviewed healthcare professionals, And we are following this remote monitoring as an innovation process. And then also having a look at how this innovation process changes professionals' work. So that's one example of the kind of interdisciplinary projects we have.
Thank you, Päivi, for that example. And I think before we move on to the next pre-sent question, I think we can take the question from the audience. So please go ahead and ask your question.
Can I say?
Yes, of course.
Okay, thank you. Your presentations was very much nice and clear, and everything almost clear to me. But I have one request. I also have another question. Also, my request is, can you please share the slides to us?
Yes, I will do that after this meeting.
I hope you I hope you have recorded the lecture today, so
Yeah.
you will share the also recorded lecture, and separately can you please share the slides?
Yes.
And also my question is actually slide number 44 is not clear to me actually. Can you go to here? You said that there we can appeal in every stage, but how will we know that am I selected for the next stage? Then and if I am not selected, then I can appeal. Is my question is what is the way of appealing actually?
Yeah, we will, in each of these steps, for example, when we first receive all your applications and we do the eligibility check, so we check that you are eligible, we will inform you in each stage that, hi, yes, you are eligible, you will move on to the next phase, or we are sorry that you are not eligible, you will not move forward. So we will always inform you, and we will, for example, when we have the external peer review, after we have received those results, we will share those comments that the peer reviewers gave you, we will share them to you, and we will let you know whether you will move on to the next round. So you will always be hearing from us from each stage and know what is going on and what is your situation. And in each of those steps, when we are informing you what is going on, we will then give you the possibility to appeal. So it's basically, we have a web form similar to the system where you signed up for this webinar. So over there you can fill in your appeal, and for example, with the peer review, you can describe how you think that you were treated unfairly, or if there were any clear mistakes made by the peer reviewers and so forth. And for example, in the eligibility check, if you see that there were some errors on our side in evaluating whether you're eligible or not, so you can use that form. But we will be contacting you in each point, and we will then, once our appeals committee goes through the appeals, we will of course then inform you about the results of that, whether sort of corrective action will be taken based on your appeal or not. So we will be always keeping you in the loop and informing you about what is going on.
Okay, thank you. So we can't share, we can't get help from our potential supervisor in preparing the research proposal and also in preparing our CV. So can we share our the short summary of the proposal with the potential supervisor?
Yes. Let's see where I am. Sorry, I had a slide on that. So yeah, when you are contacting a supervisor, of course, in order to be able to discuss whether there is a technical fit, so for example, whether the research group has the expertise to supervise you and has the resources and so forth, so you can send this short description, including the kind of things that are mentioned here, such as the aims and objectives, and especially the kind of data and materials or whatever it is needed to do your type of research. So you can of course discuss these, and it's very important actually to discuss these different kinds of resources needed for your research, because that is what the technical fit is largely about, whether the research group has what it takes to implement your research.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Can I add, if the first supervisor that you contact doesn't see a technical fit with that research group, they can also refer you to another supervisor.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
and maybe I can further continue in that usually when you contact the supervisor with the sort proposal, then you organize a Teams meet or Zoom call and you discuss the plan further. So this is the way how you can ask any questions and discuss the project further. And as Päivi was saying, if the PI does not see an exact technical fit but knows a better group, they might direct you to a better suitable PI.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And then Pasha, you also had some questions. Please go ahead. Pasha, I don't know if you're trying to talk, you're still unmuted, but I know that you have your hand up, so please, if you do have any... Sorry, I'm gonna mute the person who asked the question because I can now hear some children's noises. But okay, Pasha, let's get back to your question. I don't know if you can hear us now. But Shafik, you also have your hand up. So please, Shafik, if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask.
Thank you so much for that question and answer perfectly. So I have this particular question. The very first one, how do you measure the impact of the research proposal? There is maybe that we talked about the matter. So as a computer scientist, so I was wondering how the impact will be measured anyway. So the second question is I can't speak in my family personally because I think my case is last year and so the data is next year and then. So now it's good to me that I'm not sure whether I do qualify or I do not qualify.
Sorry, the sound quality was quite low. I couldn't really hear what you were saying. Tarja, Päivi, could you? Well, could you write your question in the chat? Because I heard some words, but I didn't really get the full question. So if you could write it in the chat, and then we can take it. And okay, I'm sorry, Pasha, that you can't seem to unmute yourself. Let me see if I can.
Sorry, can you hear me?
You are unmuted. Yes, we can hear you now. Please go ahead.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for letting me in and being part of this very wonderful presentation on this very nice, interesting program, the NOVEL. And my question is related to the area of research, that how much we are allowed to choose a topic in which we are not directly expert, but we are very much interested. And I mean, like after doing research in in one area, but now we want to move to this particular area and want to develop our expertise. But I mean, like how much we are allowed? I mean, can we design a whole project on that topic, or like we can keep the topic like half in our area of expertise and can add few techniques from a new area? So I mean, what is the you can say degree of freedom for us? So I need some more information on that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. That's a good question. You have all the freedom to choose what you want to do, so we don't limit that. And I think it's actually very much encouraged that you don't do exactly the same thing as you did in your PhD or previous project. It's of course always good if there is some novelty in what you're doing. But as Päivi mentioned that if you are proposing to do something that is quite different from what you have done before, please describe quite well how you plan to learn the things you need to learn doing the program in order to be able to do that new kind of research. Because I know that the external evaluators really appreciate that if they can see that, okay, you don't have the exact experience with this thing right now, but they can see that, okay, this is how you plan to learn, this is how you plan to get support. So make sure you describe that quite well. And of course, since this is a training program, the whole idea is that you will learn new things. So it's of course good that you're proposing to do something different than you've been doing before. But it's totally up to you how much of the new things you want to include and how much of the sort of using some of the same stuff as you have used before if you want to include. So that's totally up to you to decide.
Okay, thank you very much. And other things. Sorry.
Maybe I could continue. Maybe I could continue from Piritta in a way that it might be good for you to describe in the proposal how your previous background, although it was on another topic, maybe could benefit the current proposal. So what are the strengths and maybe some techniques or other stuff that your background brings to the new project, even though it's a different one? And if you want to open up maybe a little bit more detail into which research area it is, then maybe we can even give a more directed answer.
Okay, thank you very much. The other thing is I saw that there are like word limitations in the proposal. So like, is there any space where we can justify our choice of topic if it's a bit different? For example, like I have a background in psychiatric research, neuropsychiatric research, neuropharmacology, but right now I'm also interested in data science. And I want to like introduce some like machine learning and all that. I have some preliminary training in that through various courses and everything. So like now I want to move into this direction. So I mean, is there a site where I can, give a description that this is my background, and now I'm also willing to like include the techniques of data science into my proposal?
I think there are various parts in the research proposal for you to do that. So in the excellence of the applicant, that's where you describe your own background and what you know and so forth. So I think that would be a good place to describe that, as you mentioned that you've taken some of the training and so forth. So I think I would describe it there. And also excellence of the research project. That is basically the place where you introduce your research project and justify why this is interesting and worthwhile doing. So of course, that's another good place for doing that.
Maybe I could continue to say that your plan sounds really reasonable, and that would definitely work. So no problems in that sense. And of course, disease-wise, it's good to look at the PI list and make sure that you find a fit in there.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the encouragement.
You're welcome. Then we have Shafiq, thank you so much for writing your question in the chat. I think that's also related to somewhat to the second present question that we had, this question of impact. So Shafiq's question was that how is impact measured in terms of a research proposal like mine with a computer science background? So we're not really, I wouldn't use the word that we are measuring impact, but how you describe your impact. We have in the research proposal, there is a separate section for you to describe your impact. Of course, impact will be quite different depending on what kind of research you are doing. So of course, if your impact is a lot of the scientific impact, then focus on writing about that. But of course, if there is some sort of, if you can see that your research does benefit the society or certain target groups in any way, please write it out there. How your research is making the world a better place, I would say. Try to write it out as well as possible in the impact section. So it's a whole section in the research proposal, and there are some more detailed instructions on how to do that. And now actually I would like to ask a part of the second question to you, Päivi. The second present question was about what types of interdisciplinary approaches or project themes are most encouraged in the research area innovation in society. And I think the other one relates to other areas as well, that how can candidates demonstrate strong societal impact and real world relevance in their proposal? So do you have any tips for these?
For the first question, the project themes, it's, if I'm now talking about the innovation in society area, so the broad project themes are given there, but of course they are very broad, so you can specify from that, and you probably need to specify on those themes, but try to find a fit with one of the themes that has been given in this research area and explain how it relates to that. And basically you can choose whatever theme within that research area, so there's no larger emphasis on any of those more than the other. So any theme that is mentioned there are good. So how can candidates demonstrate strong societal impact and real-world relevance in their proposals? It's one of my advice would be, especially in my research area, is that try to think about it in a rather detailed way, because sometimes it's written about in a very broad terms, or then also in if you write about societal impact that is quite far from your research topic, then it's not very credible. So try to keep as close as possible to the research proposal content and think about rather small steps in terms of societal impact, so that there's a clear connection between what you want to study and the impact you want to make. So I think that would be my best advice on that.
And of course, you can think about, for example, sort of impact at the different level, at the level of certain individuals, how your research is going to have an impact on individuals within a certain context, or impact on an organizational level, policy level, you know, the whole society and so forth. So thinking about sort of the different levels of impact is also one way to go about it, and describing also how you, because for example, we have the secondment, we have the option to collaborate with, like, for example, patient advocacy organizations and so forth. So you can also think about, like, how will you collaborate and collaborate with different stakeholders in your research, and how that helps you gain some sort of impact based on your research.
And
I have one more question, please. Can I?
Yes, go ahead.
Actually, in preparing the research proposal and our CV, if we have some queries, then to whom we can contact? Is there any way to contact you, Annie?
Yes. At that best, if you have general questions about any of the documents or application process, please contact us at novel@uef.fi. That's a shared email address that we are reading. So I think that's the best place to start if you have any questions about the program, and we can always guide you forward. Then, of course, when you are talking about the asking for the letter of support, and then you can of course directly contact the chosen research group leader. But if you have any questions about the application process, or what does this thing mean in the CV, for example, you can contact us at novel@uef.fi. So it's me and Paula are basically then going to be answering you through that email.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. And I think actually, for example, Shafiq, your second question about eligibility, this is something that you can actually also contact us at novel@uef after this, so we can check it out. But this is actually a good question, that if you completed the PhD but graduation is later, I know that some universities have different practices. For example, when you get the actual graduation diploma and so forth. So if you have some sort of an official document from the university saying that you have really completed everything, then that should be fine. Well, we always have to check those sort of case by case to see what kind of document your university has given you. But Shafiq, if it's okay for you, could you send us an email and describe a bit more in detail about what kind of documents you have from the university? Because I know many around the world there are different practices, so we will check into those. And if any of you have any questions about the eligibility, that am I eligible or not, just contact us at novel@uef, and we can check your individual situation. Then we are a bit over time, but there was one question about how are interdisciplinary proposals assessed as a present question. The same way as everyone else, because everyone is very much encouraged or even expected to have some sort of interdisciplinary twist in their research. So this evaluation criteria right here applies to everyone, and these same criteria are used in the different phases of the evaluation process. So when your proposal goes to the external peer reviewers, they use this one, and in the next stage, when the selection committee looks at your proposal, they use these exactly same evaluation criteria. So these are the same for everyone. Hey, does someone else still have a final question before we wrap up this webinar? I know, Mingzhao, you noticed that you're writing, so go ahead and write. And in the meantime, I would like to invite, if you're not already following us on social media, please do. We also give updates there on what's going on with the program. And if you do, as I mentioned, if you do apply for the program, we will always keep you updated on where everything is going. And the call will officially open on the 1st of December, and we will then update the link to the electronic application system to our webpage. And we will also, since to all of you who have been registered to this webinar, we will send you the link on Monday when we have it. And I will be also sharing all this material and sharing this recording with you tomorrow or Monday at latest, so you can get back to all of these. And just, yeah, if you have any questions afterwards, just send us an email at novel@uef.fi. But thank you so much for joining this session. We hope that you all apply, and encourage all your friends to apply if they are doing this kind of research as well. But yeah, we are looking forward to receiving your questions and applications, and hopefully one day seeing you in Kuopio, Finland. So from my part and from everyone else's of the management committee, thank you so much.